Gary, 3-2 defeat away here at Racing Club Warwick. Went down early on, very early, but I thought once we got equalised, we responded very well.
Yeah, I think that's a good advert for the league. That's a dead cert. That was a good game. Obviously they scored early. Listen, as a manager, you have to analyse things, and the 3 goals we've given away today are poor defending. We've played all right again today, but I can't keep coming out here and going, we played all right, but we ain't winning football matches, because that's evidently what it's all about. And we've played some good stuff today. We've scored a couple of good goals today. We've had lots of pressure today, but when you give 3 goals away like we have today, and we'll just talk about it in there, that's the problem. The other night we're well on top. We're so on top against Loughborough. They break and score on us, and that was pretty much the theme for their goals today. Although they had lots of play after that, their goals are all long balls in behind our back 4. Their strikers running onto them and scoring. And was sent up with defenders and centre halves a long time, and that's the first time that that we're conceding goals like that. And they're both as my back 4 as honest as a day's long. We know we're carrying injuries, but I'm not going to make that an excuse. We've got to defend better than we did for their goals today. There was a lot of good defending out there, but in the key moments, probably the biggest key moment in the game was Ty's had a good chance down this end, hit the keeper to go 2-2, and then they've had a half chance the other end, and the lad scored an unbelievable finish to make it 3-1 all within a couple of minutes. And I just want to talk about like this as well, because obviously Ty came in for a little bit of stick for missing chances the other night, but he had 4 or 5 chances the other night, scored a goal. He had 3 or 4 chances today, scored a goal. But my other strikers ain't getting chances, and that's he keeps putting himself in there. He'll score goals, and when lads are trying the best, I just think we need everyone. Our supporters are great today. They've got behind us. They've clapped us off because they see we're giving maximum effort. I'm really disappointed because of the 3 goals we give away, and that's Corby Town, Gary Setchell like teams to give goals as soft as we have today and on Wednesday night, and that's costing us there. Look, we're in a sticky situation at the minute where we're doing all right and not winning football matches, and that's what we're judged on, results. We're not judged on if we do all right or not. We're judged on results. We need to play poorly on Wednesday and win 1-0. That'll do. Then we got spoiled, and then we got, I think, Carlton or Belper one way around or whatever. And the games are tough. The injuries are stacking up. The games are tough. But we'll just keep going out, fronting up. Same for all the other teams. A lot of the other teams have got loads of fixture piled up as well. Unfortunately, that's the price you pay when you win 4 cup matches early on in the league, in the season, which we did. But, am I unhappy? Yeah, of course I am, because we've just lost another close football match. Was I unhappy the other night? Yeah, because I thought we'd done enough first half to be out of sight. Was I unhappy against Midland? Yeah, because I thought we played really well for 45 minutes. But, from the 3 games, we managed to get 1 point, and that's not enough when you're Corby Town and you're trying to achieve promotion this year. So, this is a time where we've got to stick together. Myself, my players, the fans on Wednesday night, they really need to get behind us to help us. And hopefully we can turn it around sooner rather than later. Look, we've got a really good team here. We've got a really good team spirit here. We're just not getting results at the minute, and that's the first time in probably 15, 16 months where we hadn't got results on a regular, and that's not very nice. I don't like it too much. I prefer it when we win.
I'm sure you do. Looking ahead to Wednesday, Richfield at home.
Yeah.
We've already played them once this season in the trophy. We won 2-1. And I'm sure you have had footage from myself.
Yeah.
Can you take anything out of what you watched the footage-wise into the game on Wednesday night?
Yeah, they're a good side. They're sort of top 8 in the league. They're carrying plenty of momentum with a couple of promotions. They've got a good manager. He's doing a brilliant job there. I think their ambition was to try and establish themselves at this level, which they're doing really, really well. Obviously, they drew with these on Wednesday night, but I'm expecting another super tough fixture. I don't. What is an easy fixture in this league? I genuinely don't know if there is an easy fixture in this league. Last year, there was 3 or 4, soft fixtures, if you like. So obviously, probably 8 fixtures during the season that you'd probably go in expecting to win. But I genuinely don't feel that this year. I feel that all the managers I talked to before the games are exactly the same. And the beauty of it is, if you are outside of it, which we probably are now, then you only need a couple of back-to-back wins to get back into it. Do you know what I mean? And the teams in the bottom 4 or 5 or whatever, if they get a couple of wins, they're mid-table looking for looking at the playoffs. And the simple fact of the matter is, Michael, we're doing enough in games to turn these losses into draws and the draws into wins, and we're just not doing enough in the key moments of the games, and that's beginning to be a bit of a problem for us.
Is there, not that you want to, and hopefully you'll answer this question, is there any scope to bring anybody in should you need to do that?
Only if I get people out. We've got a strict budget. We can't go mad. There's some clubs in the league going mad. We can't do that. But I don't want to really bring, if I can bring one in and strengthen the squad. We've done that over the last couple of weeks. We've brought in Cross, we brought in Freddie, we lost Nutty, and we lost Harrison Taylor. And if that's what I have to do to keep progressing.
Is he gone, or is he, Harrison?
Yeah. So if that's what I have to do to keep the wheels turning, that's what I'll do. But I'm disappointed. 1 point out the last 9's not good. But there's enough there to show that we're very close. We're not getting blown away. We're competitive in every game, and we've just got to start turning the losses into draws and the draws into losses, and we'll be fine.
I'm sure you'll get there, Gary. You try very hard, and so does the team, and we'll see you Wednesday.
You will.